Nick. I just wanted to talk about something I observed over the weekend. I was on a retreat, which I've written about quite a bit, so it obviously wasn't the most positive experience of my life. I have done actually quite a lot of retreats, and I've generally found them really, really constructive. Not always the easiest thing to do, but very, very constructive, and a really good way actually just to kind of step out of the limelight, step off the merry-go-round, whatever the word is we want to use, and just pause for thought. But this one wasn't so great. On the first day I wondered whether I'm resisting, I'm feeling uncomfortable, which you often do, because you've got to put your ego to one side, and you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone with a group of people you don't know, and it can take a while to kind of adjust. So I kind of put day one down to let's just see what's behind the ego and what's going to come out. As it went on, it became obvious to me, as I was going through day two, I thought this is just getting worse and worse. And the reason it's getting worse and worse is because I generally don't understand. I generally don't understand what the guy is saying. Now, there was two things. First of all, I thought, well, English is a second language, and it takes a while to accustom your ear to both the accent and the fact that it was condensed bits of English. It wasn't full sentences. And secondly, the guy spoke really, really fast. So I thought, I need to just tune my ear in. But by 4 o'clock, when I've been being talked at from 9 a.m. that morning, I thought, no, I'm tuned in. And one of the things that I do is I join dots. So when I'm taking notes, when people are talking, I write various points down that they're making, and then I look for the patterns and the relationships between them. And I've always done that. I'm really visual, so I always draw something to show how it is interacting, and how it's layering, and what the cause and effect is, and so forth. And I realised after a while, I thought, there isn't a relationship. This guy's all over the place. It's a real scattergun effect, and there's no real relationship between what I'm being told. So therefore, there's just no meaning. I just really genuinely don't understand what I'm being told, and because I don't understand it, I'm not learning anything, and I'm finding it really, really difficult to engage. And what I noticed, I spoke to a few people at breaks and stuff, and I said, because they were obviously ahead of the curve on me. They'd done a lot more of this stuff, but they were, that's just the way he is, but you'll get used to it. And I think what he's saying is this. And I thought to myself, but you're making excuses, because you don't really know what he's saying either. And nobody's calling it out. Nobody's saying, I'm not quite clear on what the lessons are that we're meant to take away from this. And by 4 o'clock, I looked around the room at these people madly, ferociously scribbling down every single word, hanging on this guy's every single word, I cannot tell you. And nobody was questioning anything. And even when at the end of a session you would say, there's 5 minutes, somebody got any questions? No, there weren't any questions. And it hit me that it seemed to me that the people on that retreat were just so desperate for there to be some answer, something in what they were being told, and I couldn't see what it was. I really couldn't see what it was. So I don't want to accept something for no good reason. It's got to be content rich, it's got to be meaningful to me. But secondly, the chap who was giving the teachings and running the retreat is very highly respected. Well, apparently is very highly respected according to the people who organised it, and is a scholar and knows all of this wonderful stuff. And people were clearly massively in awe of him, but they were so in awe of him, they forgot, or they missed the fact that actually what he was saying wasn't hanging together. It wasn't hanging together, and it wasn't actually teaching as much. And I really sat there, and I think a penny dropped for me, and I just thought, this isn't for me, because I want to learn, and I'm curious, and I want to grow as a person. But I can't sit here just because somebody's got X amount of credentials and just take your word for it, when I don't actually see any evidence or any content that's actually adding to my knowledge base. You're not giving me any new dots to link. And I just thought that was really, I think, worrying, that somebody can become such a role model and you can hold them in such awe that you just take what they say without questioning it, and without going, is that right? is that right for me? Does that resonate with me? Does that make sense? Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. You know, none of us are infallible. None of us know everything. And on that basis, you know, we're all equal. And it worried me. It really worried me that people just were not thinking for themselves, and nobody was calling it out, and nobody was saying, and maybe I should have put my hand up and said, you know, excuse me, but I'm not getting this. That is not clear, or can you please re-clarify that? And actually the reason I didn't was I didn't think that I would get the clarification by doing it, if I was honest. If I was really honest, because I don't think this guy's used to being questioned, and I think he sits and talks to people for long periods of time, and that's his teachings, and you know, people go away happy. And it definitely wasn't my tribe. It definitely wasn't my tribe, and the penny clicked. But you know, the point to this is to say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what, you know, how in awe you are, how much of a role model they are for you. Please, let's not give up our ability to question and to think for ourselves, because that's how we grow. And we're all human beings, and nobody knows everything. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Bye.